school is not the most important time of your life. And by the way, I'm doing this outside, so there's gonna be some noises. I think my neighbors are like renovating or something. And there's trucks out there, but ignore all the sounds. Let me tell you something. I'm a high schooler myself. I'm an upperclassman, a junior. And I'll tell you that I have not been in one relationship in high school. I have not done any drugs in high school. I have not gone to any parties in high school. And you might be like, oh, well, that's just you. You're living a boring life. But I'm going to tell you that it's okay. It's okay to still be a virgin when you're in high school. It's okay to not do any drugs, to not smoke, and to not go to parties in high school. It's okay to never be in a relationship in high school. Do you know the reason why you're in high school? You're in high school so that you can do well, find your career, maybe make a few friends, and then leave. It's only 4 years, and that 4 years is going to go by extremely quickly, and you're going to want to make sure that you spent those years well. And a lot of traps that people fall into is that high school is like the most important time of your life. You know, if you're not popular, if you're not cool in high school, if you don't go to parties in high school, like you've just wasted your teenage years. That's the thing that a lot of teenagers fall into traps of. That they're wasting their teenage years because they're not doing these things. Well, let me tell you something. It's actually best to have your virginity throughout high school. All those high school relationships, hookups, all that type of stuff are not worth it. You end up catching feelings for this person. You could possibly get STDs from this person, pregnant from this person. Like, it's just not worth it. Drugs, like, they're not good for anyone, but especially not for a high schooler who's developing, who's learning, you know? And you might be like, oh, like, you're a nerd. You're just, like, talking like you're an old person or something. Let me tell you something. Like, I'm not trying to be cool. I'm not trying to sound cool. I'm not trying to be cool in high school. And that's something that a lot of high schoolers need to realize, that being cool is only going to matter in high school. Once you step outside of those gates, all that stuff stops mattering. Whether you were captain of the football team, when you go to college, does not matter. Whether you had all the girls in high school, when you go to college, or when you leave high school, it does not matter. How many parties you went to, how many people you hooked up with, how many stupid things you did. Past high school is not really going to matter at all. And if you like talk to any person in their 50s, you ask them, like, okay, let me put it this way. If you are in your 50s and the only thing you could talk about was how you were prom queen, then that just shows that you really don't have much going for your life right now. And the thing is that high school is about building a future for yourself, not about having fun now and the rest of your life just being, you know, bad. And I'm not going to sit here and say that you should only be focused on your studies. You shouldn't have any fun in your teenage years. You shouldn't do anything cool in your teenage years. But what I'm here to tell you is that you're still a teenager. You're still just starting your life. And you don't want to ruin your life based on trying to be cool, based on trying to fit in. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to want trendy clothes. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to want to fit in. We all want to fit in. Trust me, I do too. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to do anything that's not studying or preparing for college. But what I'm saying is that you should have fun in your high school years. Go ahead, you're a teenager. Go do fun stuff. Go do stupid stuff. This is the time of your life where you're going to probably be one of the most freest, as you're getting new rights, new freedoms, but you still have a adults in your life and you still have like, I'm hoping that you still have a roof over your head and people giving you food to eat and all that, so you can just focus on exclusively doing your work and having fun and getting out. So let me tell you a story. There once was a guy named John, and he was like the most popular kid in school. Everybody thought he was cool. He was going to parties every weekend. He was hooking up with girls every week, new girl every week. Like he was a playboy. He would hang out with tons of people. He would do tons of things. Everybody thought he was cool. The thing is, he neglected his studies. He didn't really think about life beyond high school. And then when the counselor called him into the office, asked him what he was planning to do after school, what college he was planning to go to, he was dumbfounded. He couldn't speak because he had not thought that far. And the only reason why he had managed to even get through those years of high school was because his parents begged and pleaded for him to be passed. Then he walks across that stage at graduation and everything comes tumbling down. He never really focused on his future beyond high school. And now he's lost. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have good credits for college. He never focused on scholarships. All those friends, a lot of those people were fake. Just wanted him for his parties, for his money, for his hookups. Didn't really want him for anything else. And now he's just sitting there like, what am I doing? What can I do with my life? And then, he just has to find where he fits in, which might be at McDonald's, which might be at Burger King. And now he's in his 30s, working at a burger joint because that's the only place he can work. Because, he didn't really pay much attention to his studies. So don't end up like John. Remember that high school is just a small portion of your life. Nothing that you really do in high school matters. And let me tell you something. If high school is the best time of your life, then you're up for a really sucky, crappy life, because there's so much more beyond high school. There's so much more beyond those walls, and there's so much more opportunities for you once you become an adult. So listen here, if you're feeling uncool because you haven't done all the things your friends do and your friends are out here going to parties, hooking up, doing drugs, just remember that a lot of these things, these drugs, these hookups, all that, are things that can ruin your life in the future. And remember that it's okay, and in fact, it's a good thing that you're not doing these things in high school, because if you're not peaking in high school, that means that your peak is coming somewhere else in the future, and it may be way more better. So make sure that while you're still having fun, make sure that you're focusing, you're working on building up a life for yourself outside of high school. You're focused on your studies. You're making sure that you have a good standing to go to college in the future, and that you're not only focused on having fun. But high school is a great place to practice social skills, to practice future skills. So you shouldn't just sit by yourself and only focus on your studies. Go ahead and have some fun too. Talk to some people, make some friends, because sometimes those friends can last farther than high school. And remember, being popular isn't all it. So I just want to leave those words with you today. Bye.